you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Loving how you wind up for me. Tonight is all on me. Mash up the place for me. Yeah, yeah. She just wanna highlight. Ooh, that body talk to me. I need a taste, baby. Loving the way you move around me. No more delay. No, you can't wait to shut it down. Won't you show me how you work it? I can't find no flaws, you perfect.
Hey guys, welcome to the 5Fs to Love. Real talk with the ladies. So you know it's Tuesday. And I know you just saw that promo. We're talking about risk versus reward. And a lot of times in relationships as women, we invest so much into our relationships. And the conversation we're going to have tonight is, I don't know, has it always been worth it? Or is it something we need to think about? What we want, what we're investing, and how we can rethink to get the expected outcome we're looking for. Just to know, you guys are not out there alone. We're in this together. So let's have this real conversation. All right, Precious, what's up? You calling in from New York. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Got the New York state of mind. I'm glad to be here.
That New York state of mind.
Oh, girl,
honey, we got Pennsylvania. See, that's what I'm talking about. We hitting it. You know
PA
what?
all day, baby. PA all day.
All day. And y'all know how I feel about the Carolinas, honey. Listen, don't Rhumel, you know I'll probably end up moving there. I'm looking for a retirement spot. I just want to be clear. I love the way it smells when it rains.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if that's justification.
That's so funny.
But I'm just saying.
Let me tell you, everybody's moving here, so you might as well get in while you can fit in.
I'm gonna say, and that's the whole thing. I think, the older you get, you're just looking for your space to land. And I'm 52, June 3rd. And I'm shocked that I'll be 52. It just creeped up on me, right? But I'm here. So we're gonna see what happens. And now I gotta plan on retirement, right? But you ladies, so Precious, let's just do real talk. When we left, honey, that your hair didn't change. You look like you didn't, honey, just what's happening?
Looking all cute.
You know what? I went to see my old colorist, and I knew I was going to be doing some speaking, and I said, you know what? I need people to understand that I switch up the game all the time, so you never get used to what you see. Also, it's spring and summer; it's time to flex and be like, oh, y'all didn't know?
Yeah,
I want to stay like a whole snack. You talking about risk versus reward? I love the ability just to be able to change it up on a dime. That's what sisters do all the time. So switching up on a dime, you think you're going to get this one, and she comes in with blonde hair and owns it. So, yeah. I thought about Red Danger, but then Blonde Ambition, she won out.
I'm going to say Blonde Ambition, I like it. I like the whole look. I mean, I'm very impressed. And Holly, I don't know what's going on, but I love the peach on you. I feel like you're just bringing the beat in.
Good in colors now.
Peaches and cream. I was feeling very spinny. Oh, stop. That's not damn. We gonna get 112 up in here already.
You know what? What can I say about you guys? You guys make me laugh more than I care to say. But you guys look absolutely amazing. And then Rhumel, I don't know what's going on, but I like your hair. And I know you keep saying you're letting the color, but the thing is, I love it. I don't know what you're doing.
I do too.
I love it.
I'm just letting it be what it wants to be. That's it. And she's everywhere.
And that's okay, because you know what? That's your look. And that's what it's about. It's about just doing your look. And I love it. So,
and I'm sure no one said anything. I guess they're like, I like that. You stand out. Like,
It's funny. I really protested letting my gray come out and everything. I just couldn't keep up with it. And I said, forget it. I'm just going to let it grow. And I only get positive comments about the fact that it's gray. And it's actually quite gray in the front. So it's fun. It's fun. I'm getting used to it. I'm growing into it just like it's growing into
Mhm.
me.
I love it. I know you say that you're growing into it, but I absolutely love the look.
Thank you all. I appreciate y'all.
And I want to say it was kind of weird not seeing you guys.
It was a little weird, right?
Ugh.
It was, I just want to say that personally, that it was a little weird for me not seeing you guys on a regular basis, but I'm excited that you guys are like here in the space. So, hey. I didn't even get a chance to put anything out, but TNT, thank you so much for catching
What's
up.
up?
What's up,
I
ladies? That would be Tim Good Guy from Real Talk with the Men. So thank you so much.
Uh-oh.
All right, guys, so let's get started. We got a lot to talk about tonight. So our conversation tonight is a real conversation because I think both men and women feel like they invest a lot in these potential relationships. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, can you share a quick scenario of a time you invested with a man and the outcome wasn't what you expected?
Yeah. I'll go first.
Good,
So,
good, perfect.
So there was a great gentleman that I had met off of LinkedIn, and I didn't know LinkedIn could be like, I don't know, like a dating app or whatever, but met this incredible gentleman. And when we met, I was kind of coming out of a dark place, but, just so excited to go on a date with a cool dude. And, we had a great date and kept having some great dates, but I always sensed he did not like me, like me in that way. And so I kind of felt myself always having to prove myself. And so when I would go different places that I knew were big parts of his life, I would go and take pictures of places where he had been or whatever. And I'd send him pictures and like, hey, I was just thinking of you. I happen to be here. And I know you did something here and did something here. But what actually happened is, because of my financial situation at the time, I was rebuilding my business. I think he's so much fixated on that and fixated on what lot he had in life, that the genuine expressions of affection that I was showing weren't quite good enough. And so eventually I realized that I'm wasting my time and he is. And so I exited stage left. I was tired of being compared to the ex-wife or any of these other women when I knew that if I'm McDonald's and he's got to be Burger King, then it's time for me to flex and show him what time it really is. So it ultimately didn't work out, but it did work out because never shall I be having to prove myself. If I wasn't wanted in the beginning, I need to exit stage left without thinking anything more about it.
So you know what? That's really great how you kind of did your recap, on that relationship. And I think a lot of times is when we do invest a lot. Rhumel, we'll hit you last because you're married. So we just
Please do.
You can use the friend scenario if you need to. I don't know if your husband watching tonight. You might want to use the friend scenario. But so Holly, what about you? I mean, can you share a quick scenario of a time you invested with a man and the outcome wasn't what you expected?
Yeah, absolutely. I think initially I had gotten into a situation with a gentleman who had potential. And I was at a point in my life where I was not aware that you shouldn't fall in love with potential. So it left me in a state of confusion because I kept waiting for the ball to drop and for things to be smooth and calm and everything that I had hoped it would be. But waiting around on someone's potential, and I know it's hard when you're in your 20s and maybe early 30s. It's really hard to avoid that because you're not successful yet and you don't feel like you're 100% grounded in your morals or your values. So you kind of also have potential. So it's just like a compromise and understanding thing, but never, ever, ever let someone's potential determine whether or not you want to be in a situation with them.
Wow. Okay, I like that. So what about you, Rhumel?
Okay, so I met my husband when I was 19. So I don't have like all this experience to draw from, but I will say this. At 19, I didn't know truly what I should be looking for. I lucked up. Okay. I lucked up. So I kind of put all my eggs in one basket with this dude who happened to put a ring on my finger eventually. But if I were to go back, I would not tell my children to do the same thing. In fact, I wouldn't at all, because you still have a lot of growing to do when you're 19. Yeah. And so that's what I would say.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really happy that you shared that, because a lot of moms would say the total opposite. They would say, you know, invest, do this, do that to find your potential spouse. And I really applaud you for that, because like you said, you went at 100, you put everything on one, you bet it down,
Mm-hmm.
you went down in and you was like, this is what I'm doing, which honestly, it worked out for you, but it doesn't mean it's going to work out that way, you know, for the girls.
I think it's just the opposite. I think I kind of won the lottery in that. And I would not suggest to my children at all to do it the way that I did it.
Okay, so baby girls don't double down.
And they're not. They're part of a different breed. These girls who are coming up, they're not for that. They're not about. You know, especially the one I can't. Mine are going to college and everything, but they have other things on their mind. They're about figuring out what makes them happy and their careers and all that kind of stuff. So my kids are like, nope, I'm doing me right now. And, you know, if I find somebody, that's cool too. So I'm really happy and proud for them.
I like that they're taking that approach. That's really a positive and amazing approach, especially nowadays for young ladies. And again, folks, I'm in no way against marriage of any kind. I think everybody should look for their potential mate. But I can only say from my experience, there was this guy who I was just crazy about, literally crazy about, and invested all this time. I think at that time, my son must have been about 2 or 3. And I just thought, okay, this is going to be great, right? I'm going to get married. This guy is going to be like part of my kid's life. This is awesome. And all this kind of stuff. When I looked at him and the conversation I had with him, which honestly, I 100% agree, it was a deal breaker, but he never said it was a deal breaker when I told him I couldn't have any more kids. So he left me. And I still run into this person. So when everybody asks me, why don't I date in the state that I'm in? That's the example I give them. It upsets me every time I run into this guy and I have to pretend like we're just really good friends. And it really does. And that was when I first moved back here. It was a horrible experience and very disheartening. So I learned 2 things from that. One, I tell people on the first date, I can't have kids. What's up? You still here? What we talking about? I put out my defects right away. But now that I'm no longer, because in your 40s, people are expecting you to still be able to breed some kid, right? In your 40s. Oh, yeah. 30s, late 30s, 40s, they was expecting some breeding to happen. So I used to put it on the table. But for me, that was disheartening. So I'm going to tell you, I invested a lot in that relationship. And ever since then, people always say, you know, Christine, you're a little indifferent. I am very indifferent. But there's a reason for that. And guess what, folks? You're going to find out why I'm indifferent when we get back, because it's more about it. That's all I got to say. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. guys, welcome back. If you missed the intro, you know this is Real Talk with the Ladies, and we're talking about risk versus reward. You're probably thinking, what is a risk versus a reward? Well, you know when you take a risk when you walk into these potential relationships. Like Rhumel says, she doubled down, honey, but it worked out because she got a ring out of it. Some of us, we doubled down, and let's just say we didn't get a ring on it. So this is the conversation tonight. This is a real conversation with some grown ladies. This is a grown ladies conversation. So ladies, looking back, what would you have done differently in any potential scenario, whether you shared it or not, that you're like, I will never make this mistake again? Like I know, and y'all, you know, I'm going last because you know I don't. Y'all laugh at me, but I got a legitimate one.
I have a few. Number one, I would never date out of desperation and wanting to be with someone. Number two, be very cautious about moving in with someone. There are some people who are the term hobosexual, so they need a place to stay, and so things will be great until when they have a
Precious. Stop, please. What did you say?
Hobosexual. It's a real term now.
It's a real phenomenon. I don't think you want to, baby. Let me tell you something. I remember I was subletting an apartment from a woman who happened to be a producer of a major show that's still on today. Mm-hmm. And I had met this who I thought was an incredible gentleman, but my eyes and spirit were colored by alcohol and feeling depressed about my lot and situation. And when I tell you, that man never had his part of the rent, but kept me supplied with alcohol, fed me, you know, that sort of thing. And when I, finally demanded half that rent, baby, he got ghost on the day I was just happened to be out. And girl, when I tell you, I came back and all his stuff was removed, and in the closet, the hangers were still hanging. I mean, still twirling. I said, oh, so they were just twirling on me. Okay. And then had the nerve to say, I left you, but why didn't you reach back out to me? I'm sorry, I got left. Deuces. And number three, really understanding what my hurts and pains and triggers are, so that if I see something, I'm either going to address it, or maybe it's just time for me to exit stage left.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Rhumel, what about you?
Well, I did say that I wouldn't like jump into a relationship the way I did. But the main thing is I just didn't know even what I liked, let alone to try to figure out whether what I liked meshed with what he liked.
Right.
We spent a lot of time working through each other's crap as young adults, and so if I were to do it differently, I would just kind of spend more time with me, have a little bit more fun doing other things, and then come back to the relationship. I think that we could have survived something like that, but I was focused. Okay, I was focused, and I was like, let me get this on the lock, and start having kids. I had a whole plan in my head, but boy, it was looking back, it was such a child's plan, and I kind of ran my life by that, essentially, because I was just so young and I didn't know any better. But if I were to do it again, I would give myself some time to figure out who I was.
I like that. I really do. I think that's informative, that young people understand, don't be so quick to rush into something because you feel like this is the love of my life. And you're kind of figuring out who you are at the same time.
Yeah.
Holly, your facial expression just makes me very afraid to even ask you. So,
no,
Holly,
you gotta ask because I already remember the question. So, no, but in fairness, Rhumel, I'm with you, but I've been on the clock for like a minute in the spirit of draft season. I'm ready to be off the clock in the loving me season. I'm ready to share the love. I know what I like. That's what I need to be better about, though. What I probably would have done differently would have been more communicative. I think a lot of times we make assumptions that our partners know what we need, or we think we said something, but we didn't really express it thoroughly, because we know men's minds and women's minds think very differently. Or, If you're in a different type of situation, your partner's mind. So I think I would have been more communicative. I also would have probably been a little bit more discerning. I do think I lacked that a little bit in some previous situations, for sure. Therapy earlier in life, for sure. Therapy earlier in life.
You know, it's so interesting, Holly, that you say that, because I think a lot of times women in general, we think we know what we want. And we just walk out the door with that flag like, you don't know, but I know what I want. And so
Right.
I will say one of the biggest mistakes that I made, and I'm not going to call it a big mistake, it was a learning moment. It was a moment to learn about me, that I got caught up. You know, everybody knows I'm a man in a dress. We're going to be clear. Okay. I got caught up on the physical. Okay. We're going to be clear. 100%. That's what happened to Christine. This person physically met all the requirements and some, right? But he was an idiot. So, we want to be clear. I had to exit stage right, left, in the middle of the scene. I just had to walk away. And this is what I'm going to say, is that I think for men, they have made it very clear. They can date the woman at the drive-through window. And they're okay with that. Because for them, being the dominant person in the relationship is great. And especially if I can teach you how to satisfy me and all my needs are met, because it's custom now. I'm customizing this whole situation. Versus a woman, men just assume if you're a certain type of woman that you're going to be the leader. I don't want to be the leader. That's not what I'm looking for. And the thing is, I'm trying to do a group effort. This is a team sport to me. So if I'm the person that's the boss of everybody, I'm not interested in being the boss of everybody. You know,
So
and that's
you mean men that are submissive partners as opposed to being dominant partners?
Yes. And I don't know why. I'm a little person. I don't know why people are like that with me. I'm a little person.
Because you have very strong masculine energy, girl.
Masculine energy for sure.
But
turn it down.
When I tell you it's tuned down to zero, I think it's just me in general, because the men, and these are big guys. Like every guy I've dated has been like a really big guy, and they're all in really good roles of leadership. But when they're with me, they're like little babies. And they just want me to cuddle them and just love them. And Christine, what do you want me to do? And I mean, and it blows my mind. I go, well, can we both do? Can we tell each other what to do? What am I the only person telling? I don't want to tell people what to do when I get home. And I think that's the misnomer, is that they just assume, and we're going to do a podcast about this, because Holly and I talked about this. You know, I mean, how clear are we on this? I'm every woman right now. Are all y'all happy being I'm every woman carrying the flag? We're going to talk about that on another podcast. It's coming up. All of y'all, my every woman, y'all can tune in, because I'm going to tell you right now, my flag has been down for years. For years. And people still think I got a flag up. I ain't never had no flag up, though. Okay. So this is my next question. What are, people always say they're deal breakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Rhumel, I'm going to start with you. Did you have any deal breakers when you were dating, or you were too young to understand the deal breakers?
I had a couple of deal breakers. Had to be able to like totally love their mom. If they couldn't love their mom, then that was a red flag for me. Not be a mama's boy, but to love and respect their mother, right? And they had to be smart. I'm not interested. That is like such a turn off to me, to date somebody who needs instructions for every single thing that they do. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
I like.
I need you to say that again.
There's a term for it with I can't remember, but one of the things that really makes me I really, really enjoy is a really smart man. And
we get sapiosexual.
Yes, thank you. I love it.
Oh, you know
You
what?
talk to me in like 4-syllable words and I'm yours.
We're gonna be clear. We're gonna be clear. If you give me an intelligent man, this podcast is over. If he say, Christine, the podcast, I will put out a message. The podcast is over, everybody. It's something about an intelligent man. I don't want to leave this out. Daisy, thank you so much for joining us. All of you all who don't know who Daisy is, she is a phenomenal vocalist. And honey, if you're looking for somebody she can turn it up. And I'm not just saying that because she's Daisy in the band at the church on Sunday. But honey, I feel like I'm at a concert every Sunday. Daisy is amazing. And you can watch her online. That's Renaissance Unity Church online on Facebook. Anytime. It's Daisy in the band, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Daisy in the band.
Wow.
Daisy said, line is the biggest flag. He needs to be smart or good with tools. Well, I'm with Daisy. You gotta be good with tools and also good in the bedroom, or I'm walking out on that too. God know I'm a man in a dress, so we just gonna keep it clear.
It does help a lot.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I can't even ask this question, but I'm gonna ask in a minute. Precious, what are your deal breakers? Because I'm getting ready to go off on a tangent.
Just like Daisy just said, lying. And just lying for the sake of lying. Like, ain't got no real, like, that's just your MO.
You're just doing it.
And another one of my, I'm a taller and bigger woman. So I would never be considered petite, that, a little dainty. So I would love to be treated like a little petite woman instead of having to direct all the time, right?
Precious,
so I do want chivalry.
Player.
Huh?
You need a big boy. You need a big boy to toss you around. Is that what you're saying?
I do. I need a sapiosexual too. And let me tell you something. If you're not confident, I have to exit stage left. There is something about a confident, sapiosexual man. Like I told y'all, this whole looks thing, I like a man with a regular body. Like if you got a dead body, I'm with it. Do you hear me though? If you can lace my brain with some hot tea and some hot conversation about world issues and stuff like that, and walk in with confidence, I'm telling you, that stuff is so sexy. You be like this. I'm on his arm. Like I'm not even an attraction right now. I'm on his arm. I don't care what y'all say, dead body. This is on.
Did you wait a minute, Precious? So we clear. Did you say a dad's body?
A dad body.
Maybe I like real bodies. So when I tell you I have a Brazilian butt lift, no six-pack abs, I'm black on both sides, no Brazilian butt lift, no. I mean, there's nothing ambiguous about me. So when I want people, when I say that and I'm speaking or whatever, I be seeing some men be like, yeah, I see you. I'll be like, I know, I see you too. There's some women in this room that want me too. I see you. Trust me. I'm when I get finished, y'all listen. I can be equal opportunity offender if that's what you're looking for. However, I'm going to address this issue right off the bat. I see too many social media conversations stuff. Who's gotta have this amount of money? She's gotta look like this. I said, have you ever looked out in the real world? I heard what y'all saying on social media. This never ever evolved.
It's not happening.
Like people are still having relationships in real life. You can believe that social media stuff.
Oh yeah.
When a man gets older, he loses elasticity. I like it. I don't need.
You know what? All I gotta say is, Precious, like holla, okay. Holla,
ain't no stopping me. Copywritten, so don't copy me.
Okay, Holly, I'll be right back to you. I gotta take a quick commercial break, Holly, because we need a minute anyway. I need to know when we get back. I need to know what is a dad body. I gotta find out what that is. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. I need to know.
What's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what What you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this. Don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips. Don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it. If we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, ain't shifts. Red cup, blue strips, new phone. Who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways, even on a crossway. Driving down Cross Bay, out town Barclays. Really on big things, came up a small way. Championship rings, baby, that's a ball game. Or she want a little bag, baby, that's small change. Yeah, that money talk. If we ain't cool, then cut me off. No breaking news, don't run your mouth. Thought it was the plug, now he running off. Thought it was a plug, now he running off. What you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this. Don't talk about it. Really.
Hey guys, welcome back to the 5 F's to Love. Of course, this is Real Talk with the ladies. That's why you're looking at the ladies. So when we laughed off, I just want to be clear. I don't know what a dad body is, but I need to know because Precious did a full shout out on it, and I need to know what's up. Y'all know I be late on it. Real quick though, Daisy said, "Treat me like a lady. Treat me like a lady." Yeah, Daisy, I don't seem like you, so I'm gonna let that go. She said, "Yes, treat me like a lady." You know what, folks? That's the thing. I think every woman wants to be treated like a lady, right? And that's like my biggest thing. Just to let you guys know, Holly be back in a minute. She's having technical difficulties. That's why Holly's not on the screen with us. So, folks, if you're watching right now, we would love to hear from you. Please leave your comments, and we're going to share them live. We'd like to hear from our audience as you guys are viewing and watching. So thank you so much for joining us here on Real Talk with the Ladies. So you know what? I think the misnomer for me in all of this, I have deal breakers. And you guys know I don't like little people. A little man doesn't register for me. And whether that's wrong or right, everybody, that's my deal breaker. And you know it. And this is the reason why I feel that way. I have a thing, I need a full body. And if I look at that little man and he take his clothes off and it look like a 12-year-old body, I'm done. I can't manage that. In my mind, he's little and he's going to have a little person's frame. And I'm sorry, I like a big boy. I like a man that's going to be able to be like, Christine, what's up? That's what I'm saying. So again, and the little people approach me, I think because I'm 5'6", 5'7", but let me just say this. If I put heels on and I'm looking down at you or right at you, we don't stand a chance. So I don't care what's happening. I've done my best. Like I've tried, I've done my best, everybody, but I just can't get beyond that. So one of my deal breakers is height. And the other thing is, I don't like dishonest people. Right. If you lie about the smallest thing, and you'll lie about anything, and then I'm over it, right? Holly just chimed in. She said, "My connection isn't horrible, but I'm watching y'all."
Girl, technology don't want us to be great.
Holly, if you want, you can still chime in. You can call me. You can be a part of the conversation. Just call me, honey. Okay. And folks, she's in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna talk to Comcast about that. That's their headquarters. Okay. So the thing is that, for me, I don't like dishonest people. And I find that a lot of people, because of social media, build themselves up. And then when you meet them in reality, it's like they're not what they say they are. And I get that a lot professionally. So if you're being dishonest about who you are and where you're at professionally, then personally, I don't stand a chance in that situation. She said, my deal breakers are no smoking, no baby mama drama.
Come on.
Look. Okay. I just want to say one of my deal breakers, because I'm in my 50s, I said this at 45. I didn't want to date any men who had children under high school. You know why? Because my kid was in high school getting ready to go to college, and I was like, I don't want to start all over. Now, mind you, I had to step back off of that though, because I run into some really amazing guys who happen to have younger children. And I mean, of course, that is a deal breaker that I have. But if you come with some good requisitions with you, some good recommendations, I will go ahead and ignore that. I mean, that's what we work our own deals.
I think that's a tough one though, Christine, because if I were to have to start dating all over again, I wouldn't want to have to go through the making sure kids, like you wouldn't necessarily be responsible for them, but your partner would, he would still be going through the process of raising a child. And
Exactly.
I want to travel. I want to hang
That's where
out.
I'm at.
I don't want to do this again. I've done it.
Look at
Period.
Holly. Holly, can you just call me, please?
You know
Man,
what?
who live with parents?
Going
He
ham
said
and
no
cheese.
man who live with their parents. Holly, that's it. I'm calling you. I can't do this.
She said,
Holly will
Wow.
be on audio tonight.
It's true though. I can't
Look,
imagine.
Holly, I didn't turn my ringer off. That's what it was. Holly, you on audio tonight.
That's why you
I will
tell
not
people,
be sharing.
let me ask
Look,
you,
I can be
you
sharing
live
Holly
alone?
stuff. Holly on audio tonight, everybody, because she's having problems. So, Holly, what did you say? You said they can't be living with their mama? Holly said if you live with your mama, it's out.
Yeah, because I'm loud. I'm loud.
She didn't even say the daddy. She
Wait a
said,
minute.
Mama,
Holly, are
cut
you
it
loud
off.
in the love makings or you just loud in general? What are we saying?
When the lights is out, I'm loud.
She said, did y'all hear her?
Uh-uh.
Oh, Holly said, Holly, you got to speak louder. Holly.
It said,
I'm loud.
Did you hear her? She said when the lights are out, she's loud.
oh,
So,
enjoy yourself, girl. Enjoy yourself.
all right, so real talk, I think honestly, I know, and this is a real conversation. You know, once you get to your 50s, you're meeting a lot of men who are taking care of their parents, and 9 times out of 10, their mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that they're living with their parent, but they're a caregiver for their parent.
Yeah, that's true.
Are we saying that's a deal breaker? We out if he taking care of the mama? Are we in or out?
No, no.
She said she's out.
If mama is deaf, then I think we might be all right.
Holly say she's still out, even if he's taking care of the mama. She says she out. She can't do it. You know what? Okay.
She said she has to be deaf.
Yes. In order for her to be in the mix. Okay, so this is the larger question, ladies and gentlemen. Have any of you broken any of your deal breakers because here go Precious. Precious is shaking her head. Yes, Holly, I could halfway get out. She was like, "Yeah, I didn't broke them. I didn't broke my deal breaker."
Me too.
Okay, so how many? All right, so we're gonna start with you, Precious, because obviously you done broke some of your deal breakers. So the thing is, when you become 40 or 50, did your deal breakers change?
They did. And I have to go back to our Queen Rhumel. Queen, if I married the man that I was dating at 19, I probably wouldn't be on this earth because I'm taking him out with me. You know, listen, I remember when because I said, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. No. That man wanted me barefoot and pregnant, not in college or anything. Girl, I wish I would. And that man, I have had 3 proposals. I ain't never been down the aisle. Let's be clear on that. In my 40s, I started to see myself as a prize and not just trying to get, and it wasn't I was looking for any man. It was, baby, I didn't even know what I liked. Right. I did not know what I liked. I didn't even know. See, our queen, Christine, won't tell y'all this, but, when we saw each other when I was in Detroit, she said some things that really hit my soul. Like, I thought I was cute. Today, when I look in the mirror, no makeup, whatever, I feel beautiful because I see me now. Right. I used to say things just to be funny, self-deprecating. No. I'm still a whole snack without all the accoutrements of this. And as far as the deal breakers today, I'm not breaking. I don't, no one's breaking those deal breakers because a lot of them got cooties. So I'm already, I'm not exiting stage left. I'm not even engaging. And the second thing is I can't make sense of crazy. My friend said this years ago. So when you be trying to understand things, no, you can't make sense of crazy. Abort mission. Abort.
Does she say abort the mission?
If you smoke, I definitely can't do that. If you
I don't like smokers. Oh my gosh, no.
And if I can't be soft and emotional, and if I can't get no chivalry up in these streets, but you expect me to pay for everything because that's what it looks like online, and you want to be taken care of. Baby, I don't be taken care of at 44. I grew up with a mom who said I was never going to have certain things. Well, if I can't have it, let me tell you what, I'm going to make sure I have a life where I'm taking care of myself and I can stand on my own 2 feet. Would I love a man to come in and sweep me off my feet? Of course. But if he never comes, if tomorrow never comes, I live a good life today. And it started with this Queen Christine saying certain things to me that when it finally penetrated my soul, I had to look better internally and externally. That led to greater opportunities to be in front of the right kind of people. And so I am a much better person. So those deal breakers, we're not even going into the mission to abort it. But if I have to, I'm aborting and I'm out like Shark Tank.
Well, Precious, stop letting people think that I'm a softie. They don't know that about me. People think that I'm just a robot, and I like that. No, but you know what, Precious? The thing is, you are an amazing person inside and out, and it just amazed me that you just didn't see your awesomeness, right? Because you're like, to me, you were like the Mecca, and I laugh because honestly, guys, when I'm with Precious, I always act like I'm her manager or something.
She do.
I do. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you don't know who this is? I'm sorry. We need to get seated now.
And she will do that. And I'm sitting over her like, who's she talking about? Oh, she talking about me. Oh, yeah, yes, right. Yes, sir. Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
right. I be like, she's a celebrity. Y'all don't know who she is. Oh, here's Holly. But I'd be like, hold up, like this is my people's. But yeah, I'm always encouraging people to be uniquely who you are. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think a lot of times as women, we push ourselves back. Like, I know there were some things that were deal breakers for me sexually. They were deal breakers. And I was like, don't cross that line because I'm out. This is
Holly wants to know what.
Holly, what you say? You want to know what the deal breakers are sexually? I don't do no sharing. It's me and you. I don't do no sharings. If you talking about bringing somebody into the combo, we can't. This is a duet. This is a duet. This is not a trio. And that's one of the things that I had to make clear, because I think in this day and age, as people are shifting in these relationships, how can I say this? COVID has opened some folks up to a couple things, right? Now, that wasn't a deal breaker that I needed to have in my 30s or 40s. It really, because it wasn't but now at 52, I have to tell people I'm not an open relationship kind of person. Hello, good afternoon to you. And I don't care what you look like, how intelligent you are. I got to walk away, because that's a major deal breaker that I won't break for anybody. I'm a duet. I'm not a trio. And I think people need to steadfast. Now, mind you, if you a smoker, I'm still probably going to walk out. If you are a person shorter than me, I'm probably still going to walk out. And y'all know how I feel about other things.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You can watch previous podcasts to understand the importance of that statement.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But I want to be clear. There are deal breakers. So I know, Holly, what about you? Have you gone back on any deal breakers and been like, oh, it's not that big of a deal? Oh, wait. Hold up, Holly. I'm sorry. I got to call you so we can hear you over here while you're talking. Hold on. Okay, so Holly, what are your deal breakers?
The no smoking, the no baby mama drama. Yeah, your driver's license. I know that sounds really cheesy, but I know I got it.
On the East Coast, now, folks, if you're not from the East Coast, you're not going to understand that. But a lot, especially in New York, People take public transportation so they don't have driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
If I were like go away for like a long weekend, I know we can rent a car, but we should have some mode of transportation.
Yeah, that's true. Now, let me ask you a question. Even outside, because I know, Precious, you're New York. Is that a big deal when a guy he doesn't have a vehicle? Is that a deal breaker?
No.
You asking me or Precious?
I'm asking both of you guys, Pennsylvania, New York.
It's not to me. However, when I'm in other states, because I be flued out by these companies, corporations, foundations, and that, I expect a car. I'm sorry, I just do. I expect that. But I'm not gonna get in your car. I just want to know you got one.
Okay.
Because at 44, they still snatching up snacks too.
Okay. And so, Rhumel, what about you in North Carolina? The ladies, are your girlfriends saying you got to have a car? Is that a deal breaker?
Well, here it's not like being in New York or
Right.
Boston or whatever. So you pretty much have to have a car in order to be able to reliably get around. We do have a bus system, but it's not like transit. It's not like being in Boston where you can,
Right.
where everybody just leaves their car home anyway, you know.
I'm just kind of wondering in 2023, why is there still a conversation about a man having a car or a license? I mean, even if you're not in a state where you have to drive, I'm just wondering, why is it still a conversation? And the other thing is,
You know why?
why?
DUIs.
Oh yeah, DUIs.
Yep, that's a thing.
You're right. DUIs are real. And that's the other question. Like, real conversation. If you're in a relationship with a person and you weren't aware that they had DUIs or any convictions, are you walking out?
Ooh, we talking felonies or misdemeanors?
Holly, sir, we talking felonies or misdemeanors? All right, let's do misdemeanors.
I might be cool with a couple of those.
Okay. Look, Rhumel, where you at? Rhumel was like,
No, I'm with her on that one, you know, a misdemeanor or something like, especially for something like weed. You know what I mean? Like I
okay,
wouldn't judge somebody for something like
over
that.
marijuana.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't today, but I in the past I might have found out that someone had done some nefarious things, and being at the low level of self-esteem, I might have looked past it until I could no longer look past it because they were engaged in criminal activity, and you know, one
Not from
can't be an
experience.
attorney and be engaged with someone who's in criminal activity. But today we don't do that.
We
That
don't
was
do that.
it was almost like 10 years ago. So if y'all look at, like, let's say, and there ain't no pictures of me and this person, I'm just letting y'all know. Yeah, we
Okay, that was back in the day. So just the disclaimer, Precious said that's back in the day. Daisy, thanks again for tuning in. She said, oh, I'm sorry. I got to do the first one first. She said, Holly, all those deal breakers are dead point on. Amen.
They are.
Okay.
And
This
that's on period.
exactly. And she said, if I lied, I have to consider. And that's and the thing is, this is a real conversation. I think we all.
If I don't know your real name, your real government name,
wait a
it's
minute.
a deal breaker.
A deal breaker is that, you know, a lot of times people, they go, oh, my name is Catch, Jaffrey. But why everybody calling you Jaffrey? Your name is Daniel. What is the Jaffrey about?
What if you were given the wrong name from jump?
Oh yeah, Mark.
The wrong.
And then
it was a
and
fake.
you like,
government.
but your name is Eric. What? What's going on with the Mark? Oh, Mark is, well, no, let's not do that. But I think like it goes bigger than that. Once you get to a certain age, when you're like 45, 55, this is like a real conversation. Ladies, why do we continue to go out and connect with somebody to be in a relationship? I know we all want what Rhumel has. We want that ultimate relationship, the guy that we're going to spend the rest of our life with. But why do we continue to do it? And do we think that we're continuously choosing to take the same type of guy? Are we switching it up and looking for different things? I'm talking to myself while I'm talking to y'all.
Okay.
Can I just say something real quick though, Christine?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that marriage is not necessarily the prize. Okay. You have, I mean, like, I feel like I have a good relationship with my husband, but it has not been easy. And so I would not hang marriage out as a carrot for people. I think
Mhm.
being in a healthy relationship is key. Not marriage, not being having a healthy relationship with your partner. I think that's what you should be looking for. You shouldn't be looking for people who've been married for a long time. We have gone through it. We have had our good days and we have had a lot of bad days and we're
Mhm.
still here. But I just want to put that out there because I think there's a lot of times, especially social media and people want to hang their hats on, June 1st is our 26th year of being married.
Right.
It's not easy and it's not necessarily aspirational at times. I'm just
Oh
going to be
no.
truthful.
And I really respect and appreciate you saying, I think a lot of times people think marriage is easy. And just to let you guys know, when I go into it, I know it's not going to be easy. I'm in my 50s. I'm Christine, and I know I might not be malleable to what the person wants or needs are right immediately. So it's going to be some work involved. But the one thing I will say, Rhumel, is that even with the discourse in a relationship, it would be happy to know that somebody is there. You get what I'm saying? I
I
know for
do.
sure when I come home every day, it's me. I got my own back. So just to
Mhm.
know that when the ship go down, I'm looking at somebody going down with me. I'm good with that part. I don't want to go down on a solo act.
I understand. I apologize for jumping in, but I just
No,
want
no,
people
no,
to understand, like, it's not necessarily a bed of roses. And I don't ever want to glamorize my relationship because I know the thorns that I have had to go through to get to where we are right now.
Well, now
And
that's
so
why I love you. You know that because you just keeps it real. That's why this is real talk with the ladies. And just to let y'all know, Rhumel may not be supporting shacking up, but I do. I am not opposed to a shacking up in my 50s. We do not have to get married. We
my
just
husband
need
and
to
I
shack.
shacked up. We shacked up for more than a couple of years, you know.
Shacking. All
Yeah.
I gotta say is give me my life insurance policy, and we can shack up the first wife, and your kids can get what they get from theirs. But I just want my own policy. Let's shack, okay? And that's it. I'm good. If I can get $1 million policy on the shackings, we all right,
Well,
okay?
Ramel, I love that what you said because being 44 years old, they're like, are you looking to get married? And I don't know if I have an aversion or something. I just want a happy, healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't want to say I'm opposed. I'm like, can I have that first? That would be
Mm.
nice. That
Mhm.
that would that right there would actually be nice.
Yeah.
The circumstance and all of that, the pomp and circumstance. I remember I was at my line sister's wedding, and probably second to the last wedding I've ever attended. And as I was watching her take a dance with her husband, they had been together for years. And I saw the way they looked at each other, and I knew they had really been together in college and stuff like that. And I was under no illusions, but I saw something that I knew the actor and I would never complete. I knew it. I
Wow.
didn't know death would be the one that would separate us. So that wasn't going to happen.
Right.
But a happy, healthy relationship where I'm still growing, he's still growing.
Mhm.
We're dealing with different types of trauma and drama and stress from the past, but yet there's still something there
Mhm.
with us. Like not coming in with my knees have to shake and there has to be butterflies in my stomach. Baby,
Oh my God, nobody's
go
expecting
anywhere.
that, I hope.
No, but just, and that's why I said dad bod. I love
Well,
the
I
way
am
a man
expecting
smells
something to flutter.
without
Not,
perfume or cologne. Like I
but
like
wait,
hugging.
Precious, we not
I'm sorry,
expecting
girl. I'm sorry. It was
butterflies in the knees, but we expecting something to flutter though.
I mean, that's a given. I mean, we
It
had
means it
another
keeps it
conversation where
real.
if something ain't right, we exit stage left. We're not
You
trying to
know
be
what?
embarrassed, and we
I
just like
think
we
that's a conversation. I think we ought to do a podcast. I may have to change one of our shows. Like women in our age, are we willing to bypass a great sex life because men in our age bracket may be impotent?
Mm.
He may be an amazing guy, extremely intelligent, awesome body, just great conversationalist, but maybe the downstairs equipment the plumbing ain't working. Are we still in? Look at Holly. Holly, we still in?
Holly's blinking.
What are you saying, Holly?
I've never met anyone like that.
What? Oh, well, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna hit you. When it hits you, you're gonna be like this. Why?
I only met one man. I only met one man like that, and he had that up until.
All I gotta say is that's what I did. I was like this. Why? Why? Like, why are you everything? But why? Like, all I can do. Why? Like a little kid who just lost their favorite toy. Like literally, that's what it feels like. And honey, you know, I'm a man in the dress. You know, I just walked away. It was I can't walk through it. Daisy, here go Daisy. Daisy's going, no. And she's like, listen,
he can be a friend.
Can he be a friend? Holly's like, he's immediately friend zoned. You know what? And
yeah, you know, things happen over time. I'm sure I'm sure that can develop over time. And hopefully if we have a happy, relatively healthy relationship, we might have to incorporate some toys, but you're going to have to do something. We're not.
So you're right. I mean, over time,
something.
If over time it diminished, but going in the door, if there's
no.
And so that's the thing. So you know what? And that's the whole thing. You know, we try to have real conversations. We're real people outside of what we do professionally. And I tell people all the time, just because you see me one way, understand I am a person, right? Yes. And I really like people to understand sincerity is so important. When you look at the risk, women definitely risk more than men do going into relationships. You know, men may say, well, I paid for this and paid for that. Money you can get back, right? But we actually invest emotionally into these relationships. We try to fix men up and get them ready. And then once we done fixed them up, so I hear about so many women who have invested into men. And once the man gets to this established point, he walks away. How many times have you heard a woman who went to work 2 jobs so he could become a doctor or a lawyer? And the minute he becomes a doctor or a lawyer, a few years in, he didn't got a new woman. He's over it. Yeah. So, I mean, you got to understand there are a lot of women who invest, and I know a lot of men who have invested. So the only thing I can say to you guys as we close out this segment of Real Talk with the Ladies, you have to evaluate your risk and the reward. Everyone does. And especially when you get to a certain age. Rhumel made it clear. Everybody is really like, I just want to get married. But understand this, the reward may not be marriage. It's hard work. And if you're in your 50s or late 40s, are you willing to work that hard? Or are you just open to the shacking, right? I'm just keeping it real. Are you open to a shacking in a life insurance policy? Let's talk about that. But the thing is, it's a life insurance policy. And the other thing is, folks, if you meet that woman of your dreams and she's just not sexually active, are you going to walk away? If you meet the man of your dreams and he can't perform sexually, are you going to walk away? You got to really start thinking about those things, especially when you get to be in your 50s. The thing is, like my mom and my dad used to say, and those are my parents right back there. I love them dearly. They used to say, if you can't sit next to the person on the bench and feel the love and appreciation and respect for that person, then that's not the person you should spend the rest of your life with. Intimacy comes when you're not even touching that person. For that person to know what you want or think or believe without you saying a word, it just takes a glance. And I'm going to tell you, they were the best example. I'm looking forward to that man who can sit on the bench with me and give me that glance. But also know, if we down south, I'm going to need that tea. Don't fool with me. Bring me that tea, because I'm trying to be a Southern belle, honey, on that porch. Okay? So listen, tune in next Tuesday. All I got to say is, it's going to be hot, hot, hot. Can you feel it? Hot, hot, hot. Can you feel it? That's all I got to say. We have great conversations. And I'm still working out the logistics because we want you guys to be able to call in, but it looks like I got to get more equipment to do it. And I'm probably going to need somebody to manage the calls. It's going to be hard for me to be on the calls and trying to who calling and can they talk? It's going to be a whole I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm trying to work it out so you guys can call in and be a part of the conversation with us. We would love to hear from you, but always at all times, be sure to share the podcast and get other people to watch and listen to the conversation. Real Talk with the Ladies is tonight, and tomorrow is Galen. And you already know he bringing the meta to the physics to the relationships. And that's all I got to say. See you guys next week. And thank you so much for supporting the 5S to Love. Bye, ladies.
Bye.